Alright, boys and girls, welcome to Growing Guitar. It's a very cool song here with Lauren JAUREGUI. It's featuring DOLLA and Russ. This song is called Wolves, okay? So we have this chord progression that goes in the same way through the entire song. Slight variations there in the end. Sometimes I'm gonna show you two ways of these variations there. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same. Let's start here with a capo on the first fret. Makes life much easier. So capo on first, and let's take a look at the chords. So we're gonna learn to play E minor first. That is open E, second A, second D, open G, open B, and open E. Next chord is C. So that is third on A, second on D, open G, first B, and open E. We have the B minor 7, it's a bar chord. So you place the bar on the second fret and you bar all strings except for the last D here in the bass. So 5 strings from bottom and up, and then the rest will be 4th on D and 3rd on B. Then we have A minor. So that is open A, second D, second G, first B, and open E. And then we have final two chords left. The first one is G. So that is 3rd on E, 2nd on A, open D, open G, 3rd B, and 3rd E. And the final here will be kind of the G, F or so. We'll call it F sharp because we are at the F sharp note there. So what I do, I go from the G here to the F sharp. You just do like this. So I keep the strings down there in the end there, the top notes there from the G, the 3rd fret on the E string and the 3rd on B. But from this bass area here, I go from G here to this F sharp. So that is just the 2nd fret on the E string, and then I mute the next string with that finger, the index finger usually. So it just leans on top of the A, and then it goes open D and open G, and then, like I said, you keep the rest down there from the G. So you just go from this to this motion, okay? And there we have the F sharp. All right, so there we have the chords needed for a song. We have a starting point here with E minor. I like to play the bass note there, but before we look into the details here, we have one basic strumming pattern. It's divided into 2 different parts, so we need to learn that first, all right, before we go into details. So we can do the transition there from the first 2 chords, the E minor to C. And with that, we have the part 1 on E minor and part 2 of C there when it comes to the strumming. So part 1, E minor, will sound like this. All right, so it's down, down, up, clap. Okay, that's part 1. And then you shift to next chord, in this case the C, and play part 2. And that is down, down, up, clap, down, up. So first a down, and then a short pause, and then comes down, up, clap, down, up. Like this. So down, down, up, clap, down, down, up, clap, down, up. And in tempo. Alright, so there you have it, alright? So part 1 and part 2, and like I said, it starts here with E minor and C. But with this E minor, instead of doing part 1 here for strumming, you can have a bass melody here consisting of 3 notes. So it's, and that replaces the part 1 strumming. So if you want to do that, you're gonna play on the open E string, then 2nd E, and 3rd E. And with that, you skip the part 1 strumming here for E minor and go right into the 2nd chord, the C now, and play part 2. So it's optional there with E minor, notes or strumming part 1. Then C, part 2. Then you play the B minor, part 1. And then you go back to C and play part 2. Okay, that is the first half. The second half would start in the same way, the E minor. You go either with the notes there or the strumming. This time I go with strumming, so part 1, and then C part 2. All right, and now this is where we have the final ending. It's the first 2 chords are most often used here, and that will be B minor 7 part 1 and A minor part 2. So this is the most often used ending here in this song. So it will be B minor part 1 and A minor part 2. But you can also switch it up. Sometimes it's played differently with 3 chord ending instead. All right, so these 3 chords will be A minor, then the G and the F sharp. So if you do this other ending, you will take away the last 2 chords there we just looked at, the B minor 7 and A minor, and replace them with A minor part 1. And then comes the ending with 2 chords, G and F sharp. Here you're gonna play down, down, up for G. And then you go the same for the F sharp, down, down, up. That's the second ending. All right, so there we have the whole song there, guys. I need to repeat everything. We had to start with E minor, strumming or notes, C part 2, B minor part 1, C part 2. Then you start all over again on the second round, E minor and C in the same way. And then we have now the ending here on the second round. Either go with B minor 7 part 1 and A minor part 2, or the A minor part 1, G down, down, up, and F sharp down, down, up. All right, so there you have it. So I want to give you the different endings here to show you how it sounds. We just go with the second half of it, the E minor, C, and right into the endings there. I'm gonna give you 2 rounds of it. So the first most often used is this one. Or sometimes you can play. Alright guys, so that pretty much covers Lauren Jauregui's and all the other guys with the song called Wolves. So real cool song there, give it a try guys. A little mix of picking notes and mostly strumming there. Nice to know. So if you enjoyed this, please let me know. Subscribe to this channel and all that good stuff. Until next time, play tuned.